Hello, dear viewer. Welcome to Pastology. Today we will tell you about 10 famous swords that changed history. Throughout history, the greatest and most legendary heroes and figures have been known not only for changing history, but also for their legendary weapons. So much so, in fact, that some people argue whether the hero wielded the weapon or whether the weapon wielded the hero. In any case, the following swords became so legendary that they became more well-known than the heroes themselves. Here are 10 famous swords that changed history. 10th place is the Honjō Masamune sword. Considered one of Japan's greatest swordsmiths, Honjō Masamune made a number of magnificent blades, but perhaps the most famous one he made was the Honjō Masamune. This was a sword that represented the shogunate, the military dictatorship that ruled the country during the Edo period in Japan. Named after General Honjō Shigenaga, who first wielded the weapon, the sword was captured by him in a duel against the enemy. The Honjō Masamune later changed hands several times, most of which were with the shoguns. It was declared one of Japan's national treasures, but unfortunately, after the end of World War II, the sword mysteriously disappeared. The only physical evidence we have is drawings showing the blade's temper when it was made. People are still searching for it to this day. 9th place, San Martin's curved sword. Many military leaders rose to fame during South America's struggle for independence from Spain. One of these leaders was the Argentine General San Martin, who became known as the first defender of Peru after helping to achieve its independence on July 28, 1821. Before arriving in South America, San Martin visited London and purchased a curved sword there, which he trusted and valued so much that he armed his cavalry with similar swords. The style of the sword was very maneuverable, especially when attacking on horseback, and its use could make the difference in winning battles. San Martin's unique sword was passed down to other leaders and their families until it was finally transferred to the National History Museum in Buenos Aires, where it is still on display today. 8th place, the sword of Zulfiqar. Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, the cousin and son-in-law of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is more commonly known as Ali. He was the leader of the Islamic Caliphate in the Middle East between 656 and 661 CE. An admirer of Ali's fighting skills, Muhammad, peace be upon him, gifted him a large sword called Zulfiqar. There are currently conflicting accounts of what the sword looked like, but the most popular is that it was a curved weapon roughly divided in half, making it resemble a double-edged sword. Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, used Zulfiqar at the Battle of Khandak when a large Confederate force attempted to besiege the city of Medina. Using the sword, he thwarted their attempts. Today, it is considered a priceless artifact and is said to be part of a famous collection of relics called Ali's Sword Al-Jafar. 7th place, the seven-horned sword. The seven-horned sword was presented to the ruler of Yamato, Japan, in 372 AD by King Gyeongchogo of the Baekje dynasty, present-day Korea. It was probably not a combat weapon, but rather used for ceremonies and displays. The famous sword is made of pure iron, measures 74.9 centimeters long, and has 6 smaller horns that curve upward from the main blade in the same direction. The seven-horned sword is of unique value. Its discovery has revealed a connection between the Korean and Japanese kingdoms, at least through the exchange of such gifts, at a time when, according to experts, there was no constant contact. 6th place, Goujian Sword. The Goujian Sword, discovered in 1965 in a tomb in Hubei province, China, is a relic dating back to between 771 and 403 BC. It belonged to the famous Emperor Goujian, who retook the kingdom after a decade of subjugation to a neighboring state. Archaeologists were amazed to find that despite the sword having been in the tomb for thousands of years, its blade showed no signs of serious wear and was remarkably sharp. It also showed no signs of tarnishing or rusting, which is especially remarkable considering that it was made of tin and copper, and the tomb was filled with water from the Jung River. Today, it is kept sharp in the Hubei Provincial Museum. 5th place, the Tizona sword. Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, better known as El Cid or the Lord, was born in Vivar, Spain in 1043. He was a military commander known for his many victories over his enemies. His 2 swords, The colada and the Tizona are almost equally famous, and he used them to destroy the armies of the Moors, Barcelona, and Aragon. The Tizona is believed to have been made in Córdoba, Spain, from a variety of sources, including Damascus steel imported from the Middle East. It measures over 1 meter long and weighs just over 1 kilogram. The Tizona fought in many battles and played a significant role in shaping the future of the Spanish kingdoms. Today, this famous sword is a valuable relic and is on display in a museum in Spain. 4th place, Napoleon Bonaparte's sword. Regarded as a strategic genius, Napoleon Bonaparte was granted the title of Emperor of France by the French Senate in 1804. Napoleon expanded his empire, overthrew many regimes, and personally fought in battles with his pistol and sword. This sword was a cavalry sword, said to be made of the finest metals of the time. Plated with gold, it was given by the emperor to his brother as a wedding gift in the hope that victories achieved with it would bring good luck. The famous sword was passed down from generation to generation and was finally sold. Then, on June 10, 2007, Napoleon's sword was bought at auction by his descendants, who paid a whopping sum of almost $6.4 million for it. 3rd place, Wallace's sword, worn by the Scottish warrior William Wallace. This two-handed sword is 1.63 meters long and weighs 2.7 kilograms, making it a truly deadly weapon in the hands of a strong enough man. Its length has reinforced the myth that Wallace was a giant who could destroy all enemies with a single blow. In fact, he defeated many large English soldiers during the Wars of Scottish Independence, most notably at the battles of Stirling in 1297 and Falkirk in 1298. After being captured in August 1305, Wallace was brutally executed. His sword changed hands several times, but it is now on display at the Wallace Monument near Stirling, where he and his sword achieved their greatest victory. 2nd place, Joyeuse sword. Charlemagne's sword, Joyeuse, better known as the Charlemagne, belonged to the ruler until his death in 814 AD. The sword is over 1 meter long, has a blade of 82.8 centimeters, and weighs almost 1.6 kilograms. As Charlemagne's personal sword, Joyeuse, which means joyful, was used to fight enemies and execute prisoners. He loved his weapon very much, as it helped him rise from King of the Franks to the first emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. 1st place, Curtana, Sword of Mercy. Many stories revolve around the sword used by British monarchs during their coronations. Some claim it originally belonged to a knight of the Round Table named Tristan, while others believe it was the sword of Edward the Conqueror. But unlike many legendary swords, the Curtana's blade is barely 1 inch long, rounded and brittle. Its purpose is strictly ceremonial, not violent, hence its nickname, Sword of Mercy. One legend tells of an angel breaking off the tip of the famous sword to prevent an assassination attempt, although the real reason may have been that it was accidentally broken or that it was deliberately removed for safety. The Sword of Mercy is one of the most valuable relics in the UK, one of the most famous swords in the world, and one of the few surviving relics from the English Civil War of the mid-1600s. Dear viewer, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe to our channel. What other historical topics would you like us to post videos on? Be sure to leave a comment. The Pastology channel will continue to create for you.